Yo, what's going on, y'all? Archangel 7, and I'm bringing y'all some Magic content. So I've been playing Arena for probably like 3 weeks now. Actually, literally just recently found out that this game was out and was a thing. So Magic is like one of my favorite games, but it's mad expensive. So Arena's dope. So anyway, I'll be taking a look at this Gigan Cyberclaw Terror. All right, this deck's mad strong. I haven't done any like research as far as deck tech, so this is just kind of my own variant to it. I basically run the companion version, so your starting deck has to have cards with only even converted mana cost. All right, and so what I did was I combined him with the Surveil mechanic, and yeah, so there's four Gigan Cyberclaws, 4 Night Veil sprite. So this guy, when he attacks, Surveil. Basically, Surveil is you look at the top card, you can put in your graveyard or not. So this just helps to get him in the graveyard, to get Spark Double in the graveyard. Yeah, and you want them in the graveyard because basically when he enters the battlefield, each player puts the top 4 cards of their library into the graveyard, and then you put a creature card with an even converted mana cost from among those cards onto the battlefield. So, as long as you have him in the graveyard or this, when you call him back, you can basically make a copy of him again and just basically spam this, and you'll either just have a board full of huge 6/6 or in his case 7/7 creatures, or you're just going to deck the opponent out. So either way, yeah, it's a really strong deck. So combined with the Surveil mechanic, it's pretty strong. I run 2 of him. He's just a huge beater. When cards are put into your graveyard from your library, he gets +1/+1 to the end of turn, and he can't be blocked. So on turns where you're just spamming this guy, he's gonna get really, really big, and he can't be blocked. So yeah, really strong card in this deck. Whenever you Surveil, this guy gets +1/+1. He's low cost, so you'll see him early game, and yeah, he has flying and menace, so he can't be blocked except by 2 or more creatures. So that's really good there. I was running more of him. I'll probably cut him down. So the mindset with him was to take him and have him copy one in the graveyard, and essentially the skill would proc. But during one of my testings, I used this skill, and he transforms into them, but he doesn't enter the battlefield. So any enter the battlefield skills won't work on this guy. So he's fairly weak in this deck. I'll probably take him out once I figure out what I want to take him out with, which sucks because I did craft him thinking that he would, function that way. But it is what it is. There's some okay targets. I mean, he can copy this card. He can copy them and just, be a big 6/6 beater. But yeah, not too many good targets for him, so might take him out. This card allows you to basically Surveil more. So you look at an additional 2 cards each time you Surveil. So basically you're looking at 3, and you can choose to put them in a graveyard or not. And then you can exile this card and shuffle your graveyard into your library, which is something you're going to want to do because you're going to be milling yourself and your opponent. So if it comes to a point where you're going to mill yourself before them, this card can come in handy and shuffle your graveyard back in. This is just a little bit of control. The deck doesn't have a lot of control, but this control is just basically returning creatures to opponent's hand, and then you're getting to Surveil. More Surveil as well, and you can get an instant or sorcery from your graveyard and cast it. So targets like this, like this, like this, or this. Yeah, there's a couple targets for this to hit, so pretty decent card. It's only run 2 of. And then a little more control, being able to destroy some early game creatures or just return a creature back to their hand. This destroys a creature and allows you to Surveil 2 as well. This card's used to copy him. So once you copy him, his enter the battlefield effect procs. So then you get again. So just another way to keep spamming his ability. Thas is basically used in the same way. So she has a blink effect. when you end your turn, you exile one creature you control and then return it to the field. So when you do that, you're going to be exiling Gigan Cyberclaw, and he's going to come back into the field, and he's going to get his skill again. And this guy copies him. So enters the battlefield, copies him, procs the skill. Yeah. And then this guy is just cycling, and he has Death Touch. He doesn't have a huge use in this deck. I'm really having him in here for the cycling and for him to be able to kind of target him. But the Death Touch is, being able to give Death Touch is pretty strong, especially early game if you have something like a Spy Bug or the Sprite. Just early game, being able to Death Touch and kind of stop the opponent from wanting to attack is pretty good. So, lands, 12 islands, 7 swamps. I got 4 Dismal Backwaters, and then I have 1 Temple of Deceit. I didn't want to craft anymore, so I just run one of them. So that is the deck, 60 card deck. And let's hop into a match and see how this deck does. I think I've played this deck, I want to say twice. And one time it didn't go off. I think I was like mana stuck. And then the second time it did what it was supposed to do. So we'll see what happens now. Right now, things are looking pretty good. I do have an early game. I also have the double blue to cast this. So things are looking pretty sweet right now. So we'll go ahead and run that. Okay, it's always nice when they start off as slow as you. Wait, so what is he doing? Why can't I cast this? What's going on? Oh no, network error, what? Alright, so I was actually able to hop back in. So that's nice. Unfortunately, I did miss a turn. So, okay, so I'm back in. Wow, so that land I played and everything is so easy. Yeah, this is pretty bad, but it's okay. I mean, I have good land, so I'll be able to get him out guaranteed. It doesn't look like he did too much to me, so he's probably just gonna drop that. Oh no, he dropped that. Alright, destruction. For 4 lands, I mean, he has a pretty slow start. So I'm at 3. I need to drop 3 more before I can basically get the engine going. So hopefully he doesn't rush the field. Yeah, we're not gonna block. No attacks. Basically, I gotta survive 2 more turns or not get absolutely destroyed in 2 turns. And then, yeah, once this pops off, it's gonna be good. Yeah, so it's just, that's fine. So one thing I could do is activate skill. So I'm gonna hold off for now. Basically, if he attacks him with any one of those, I can block and activate his skill. Just got to make sure he doesn't have 3 mana up, because then he can activate his skill and then it's useless. So okay, return from the graveyard. You know, it might be a good idea to bounce that. But alright, so he's tapped out, so I can get rid of this at least. So we'll block and activate a ability. Alright, so he's 3/2. I can still activate? Yeah, I can. So I'll probably bounce this back to hand. Yeah. I could have destroyed that, but I don't think it's necessary. Alright, so this guy's ready to come out. Now the shenanigans happen. Let's see if and we got one in there, yes. So we click on my graveyard and we drop another. It's a skill, boom, boom, boom. I don't think we hit anything there. So we didn't hit anything there, but we do have this. We can drop that. So that's nice. So now we need something to clone him, or we need Thassa to be able to blink him, and we need him not to die. So there's a couple things that can get him off the field right now. But yeah, so nice. This is working out perfectly. All right, boom. So we drop him. And the nice thing about him is when he comes in, he's not legendary. So I can have both of them, right? So boom. We copy him, drop. Let's see. And I think you can only pick from what was just put in. So I can't go back and grab anything. So we'll grab this guy. I can't have him become anything. So right now, I think the best thing I can do is play this. And we'll call it a day. We'll call it one for that one. Okay, so he didn't make the Kraken. He has a good mana pool here. And he's running good colors. So I wonder what he's bringing out. Okay, each player sacrifices a creature. I mean, really, he has one flyer. I can get rid of that. I want these two on the field because they're going to be the ones that just swing in for massive numbers if I can get this whole thing going. Nice. So here's another one that copies. So basically we'll copy him. And yeah, we'll go ahead and keep the new version. And we did drop one in there. So we can go ahead and play him. We'll keep the new one. And that drops. Okay, so we did miss him, unfortunately, but that's okay. Go ahead and call this one out. So the only bad thing about this one is he gets 1+1. So like if I do 4 at a time, it counts as 1 instance. So he's only getting 1 for that instance. You know, 1/1 for that instance. So kind of sucks, but it's all good. So right now he's 24, I'm 22. I don't think I want to attack in. I could attack in, and if he blocks, yeah, we'll do that. So we're gonna go to combat because we're big enough. So if he blocks, if he blocks here, this is gonna die. If he blocks here, I can pump it, and then he's still gonna die here too. So he has big choices to make. Okay, and that's kind of the most logical choice. That's not a bad thing there. So, but yeah, that's the deck. It works out pretty well. I like it, even though I had a slow start and everything. I mean, if his deck was a little bit faster, perhaps I wouldn't have made it this late in the game, especially me disconnecting and everything. But yeah, the deck, I like the deck a lot. It's one of my favorites, along with the elementals. I run an elemental mutate deck that's pretty cool as well. So, but other than that, guys, I appreciate you watching, sticking around. Make sure you drop some lines down in the comment, hit the thumbs up, and subscribe for me, and I will catch y'all next time.